transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
A good afternoon to the good people. Good afternoon to the bad people, friends and enemies. And good afternoon, boom shakalaka to you all. I am Chris Base. Baseline full effect. We do this every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Always wanted you to be well where you are. My people, we made it. We made it to the weekend. I know it seems gloom. I know it's doom. I know what's going on in the world, but you made it. And celebrate the fact that you made it. God damn you, la. Yes, you did. Did the church say amen? As my man Kendall Moore on WBO would say, church and tabernacle. Shout out to Kendall Moore. And a happy Friday to Barbara Jean on Facebook Live. They're also on the Chris Base channel, which you can do if you take access to that. So the Chris Base channel, of course, the Chris Base channel, all one word with a period and then a channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Let's see. Of course, we have Innova Ingram. Good afternoon, Chris and Base Nation. Thank you for being here on Facebook Live. As you see, the Chris Base channel, of course, in full effect with Barbara Jean. Also, one Sig Diggy. Good afternoon. Good morning. Doesn't matter. Same thing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to one Sig Diggy. How's it going? It's going. It's going. It's just like anything else. It's interesting to maneuver in these days when you look at the news cycle. It's interesting and it's bizarre. As we do a deep dive, as we always do on a Free Your Mind program, but yeah, this whole thing is just strange. Like I said before, it's bizarro world turned upside down. Where we are right now. But we'll get into it in scam mementos. But you know how you are out there. You can, of course, galvanize the program by calling in at 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. I say before, the Chris Base channel, as Sick Digging and Barbara Jean are using. The Chris Base channel, type all of that with a period at the end of the channel. You like it? Hey, I likes it. So yeah, you like it, you subscribe and share, and then move on from there. Instagram, I am the base. And you be so daring, you can ask for the link, the show link, and go from there. Having a guest when let's see, so reverse programming order. 5:30 Central Time. Grace will be here. Grace Aquino. She was on here a little while back when she was talking about the way she viewed life and things like that. So she's going to be back on as a guest coming up in the bottom of the hour, next hour. Reverse programming order, if he's available. Pastor Donovan Price, as we always have him on here, but I know the man's been busy. Also been on the weather as well. So let's hope he can show up. If not, he's out there doing the work. And at 4:45, coming in the first hour, that will be George L. Cook coming on board with his content. So, packed program. Let's see. Hold on. Switch things up on me. Hold on. Let me go back to the comment section. Hawkins, what's up? Diane Hawkins, that is. What's up? How you doing? Not too shabby. Feeling pretty good. How you feeling? Of course, as you know by now, that Diane Hawkins is the resident pickleball champion here at Baseline. I gave her that title because, I don't know how she plays. I've been knowing her since, freshman year at Kenwood Academy in high school. So she tells me she plays pickleball and she's good, I'll take it. You have to show me nothing. Don't show me pictures. No, I take your word for it. As we continue on. Greer, what's up? How you doing, man? Al Greer. I'm sorry, Doctor Al Greer. How you doing, Doctor? Thank you for being here as always. How you doing on a Friday? Let's see as we continue on. All right, got a dinner menu. Let's see. I'm cooking tonight, so Chef Ann is cooking tonight. So let's see. Tuna and pink salmon salad sandwiches. Jay sour cream and chives potato chips with dill pickles. Fresh lemonade. Dessert. Cherry pie turnovers with vanilla ice cream. Let's do it again for the cheap seats. Again, Chef Ann is cooking tonight. Tuna and pink salmon salad sandwiches. Jay's sour cream and chives potato chips with dill pickles. Fresh lemonade for the drink, and dessert cherry pie turnovers with vanilla ice cream. All right. Not too shabby at all. Let's see. Hold on. I know some of you talking amongst yourselves. So I'm trying to stay out of that conversation. I know Sick and Barbara Jean are talking there. Oh yeah, yeah. Dr. Greer wants a plate. Yeah, you gotta get in line, Doc. I'm telling you. Let's see. As we sounds yummy. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Yay, we need Innova to send us a plate. Innova, I'm telling you, you know, we joke around, but what if Innova and her brother Mark actually had a restaurant? I'm telling you, put the game on lock. They put the game on lock. It is going to be interesting. Say, for example, because in a parallel world that the sister and brother team of Innova and Mark Ingram had a restaurant, y'all, the rest of y'all just sit down because that's going to be it. That's going to be it. What's up, Cannon? How you doing? Says Base. Cannon, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here as always. Sick types of what if they had a food truck instead? Well, yeah, I go along with that as well, but you know how it is. Hey, you don't have the money for it, you can't compete. That would be interesting. I've seen people who had food trucks and then convert to a brick and mortar restaurant in time. We gotta start somewhere. That's if they're interested. I don't think they're interested in doing that. They just cook for themselves, but nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at them. I've been trying to get over their house for the past 5 years, and they would not. They always say, "Chris, you'll come over." I'm still waiting to come over. I've known ever since we were kindergarten, literally babies and pacifier. I just want to come over there one time and get fat. I'm not trying to come on multiple times or as a multiple guest. I'll just come over to get fat one night. One night for fatness. Fatness. Yeah, one night for fatness. That should be my campaign slogan to get over there to the English. One night for fatness. Let's see. Can a brother get what is it? Another 4-pack? Hey, Rasa Ruck. Uh let's see. For the end of a no food truck, I'd rather have a fine dining restaurant with open bar. Okay, there you go. Very, very nice indeed. Like I said before, knowing Innova, I think, yeah, because I was thinking the same thing about picking between a food truck and a restaurant. You had to pick one. I would go with the food truck as well from the standpoint of even going to start there. But since you want to go with the restaurant, oh yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's more her speed. Let's see. Jed, any of us should go on Top Chef. I watch all the cooking shows. If Enver Ingram went on one of those cooking programs like Top Chef, whatever, they would have to edit her a lot because she would cuss people out. She would. There's nothing wrong with that because some people deserve to be cussed the entire fuck out. I go along with that, but that will do a lot of editing. Whoever is going to be the production team for those cooking shows, Annabelle will cuss you up and down 6 days to Sunday, and nothing you do about it. Nothing you do. You got to sit there and take it. Let's see. What do you say? Fair enough. Did you say 4-pack? No, I was saying a night of fatness. 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 Yeah, because you're gonna gain weight if you go to the Ingrams. Be prepared to eat. Now, if you're a person who like to eat, don't go over there. Don't sit there and just take 2 bites. I'm full. No, 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 no. You have to come with an appetite. That's part of the deal coming over to the Ingram house. So you have to eat. So no, don't go over there talking about. I just want to, a little bit. Ain't no such thing as a little bit. Let's see. Not trying to be a downer over good food. I don't know what that means. I know what you mean, Cannon. I saw you post this. What was that? I'm gonna put it up here. I want everybody to see this. Okay. So Walter types in capital letters, Sister Jean died. If you didn't know, you can post it. Okay, let's back up a second. I have it in my notes right here about Sister Jean, the little, chaplain who was at all the basketball games for the Ola basketball team, died at 106 years old. I know that. I know that. And the fact that you type, if you don't know, you can post it. Now, I want the people out there in the comment section, I want you to help me with this because I've tried with this man. I'm not getting through. So maybe you out there can help him. Because I'm done. Let me explain. And I'm saying the obvious here, but I need your assistance out there. I don't ask for much. I don't. But help me out with this one. If Mr. Cannon is reaching out to me in capital letters, you see it right there on the screen, about if you don't know, you can post this. Help me out with this. Now, if he, meaning Mr. Cannon, felt so inclined about reporting the death of Sister Jean, who was a fantastic person, how come he can't post it himself? Help me out. I don't ask for much from everybody in the comment section in the peanut gallery. I do not. But I can't get through to this man. I've tried and tried on many occasions. I've tried. And so I am done. So the people in the comment section, help me out. Let him know. Let him know the basics that if he wanted to post about Sister Jean, then he could post it on his own social media site. Tell him, I'm tired. I'm done. And you don't know me when I'm done with you. It's the end. So please in the comment section, school this man. And he's a very intelligent brother. This is what gets me. You're gonna say some stupid shit like this. That's what I don't get it. So help me out. Come on, Negroes, help me out there. Whoever you are, whatever race you are, black, white, pink, I don't give two damns. Help me explain to this man that he go to his own site, his own social media site, and type whatever he wants to. Last I checked, why are you coming to me? Why you coming to me? I ain't nobody special. It's not that serious. So you got ahead of me. I got it in my notes here, but you can post on your own thing. Sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I can't. Y'all gotta pray for me because I can't take it no more. I ain't ever tied to a Scorpio. You have a birthday coming up, right? I do believe a birthday coming up. But Miss Ingram has a birthday coming up. Scorpio, nothing wrong with that. Let's see. What do you say? You know me well. Look, yes, you would cuss the people the entire fuck out. You would. You did a cooking show, or you being a contestant. Oh yeah, they had to give you your own show. Let's see. Go back to comment section. Go here. Hey, what's up, Omar? The birthday man. How you doing? Says hello, Chris. Happy Friday, buddy. Happy Friday to you too. How's your birthday? How was your birthday celebration? Sick types. He's being a troll. Okay, let me explain something to you. For real talk, Walter is not a troll. Walter is a very intelligent brother. I met him when I was going again as instructors at Illinois Media School. Very bright brother. I love him a lot. But the basic stuff is just not getting through him for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's a brain defect. Could be a worm stuck in there from drinking too much tequila. I don't know. I don't know. It's something as basic as that. I mean, you can just post it on your own site. That's it. Let's see. Robert Jean, watch your blood pressure. No, I take my blood pressure every morning. No, I'm good. I do it every morning. I'm good now. But like I said before, I need you people out there to help me out with this man because I can't do no more. I can't. Wait is what's it? Wait. What is it? Wait is just ruining your show for you. You should be thankful. Hey, thank you, Jed, but I'm telling you. You try to help people, you try to explain stuff to them, and for some reason go over like a fart in church. Let's go to the phone and say, good afternoon to one who will cuss your ass out, the one and only Chef Ingram. How you doing, Ann?
Hey, Chris. Don't get your blood pressure up. I agree with Barbara Jean on that one.
Yeah, no. I'm good, but I'm tired. I'm tired. It's like once again, I love the brother, love him like a stepchild, but you can't have this behavior pattern of coming for me, not coming for me, but telling me to post stuff when you could post stuff on your own page.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's stupid.
Can't do it. Walk. Get your own show.
The man's got his own show, but the thing about it is, and once again, he worked in radio too. This is what gets me. This is a conversation we used to have. Well, Base, I don't do talk. No. It got nothing to do with talk. Anybody doing any type of format, music, talk, whatever, everybody posts all type of information on their page. So you just can't segregate like it used to be. Like I'm over here doing talk, you over there doing jazz music, and she's doing country. No, everybody collectively online puts out information. So you can't just relegate it to me. You can do it yourself. So I don't know. I'm done. And I mean, I'm done. I mean, when it comes to that, I still want to talk to the brother. I love him a lot. He's my brother, but fuck him. But yeah, that gets on my nerves. So yeah, so there you go. So how's it going, Ann?
It's going okay. I think what disturbs me the most, I noticed lately on social media, I don't see if this is dangerous because I don't know if it's AI driven. I'm seeing posts about certain celebrities making comments about other celebrities.
Yes.
And what disturbs me is that do people like that extra chaotic drama? Because I don't. I think it's appalling. I think it's like the latest one I heard was Jay-Z had made a comment. I don't know if we had talked about this. I'm not sure we did or not. But Jay-Z made a comment saying that Beyonce is the greatest entertainer since Michael Jackson. In fact, she's beyond Michael Jackson. And, Janet was like, come up, that Beyonce is the blueprint. She's the blueprint now. And I was so happy if Janet just, because it sounded like Janet, she said, no, baby, no. I was like, she was like, no, she said, no disrespect to Beyonce. She said, but my brother was the blueprint.
Yeah.
He was the blueprint. She said she took her dance moves and everything from him. You know, she said, no disrespect. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like saying, she said, no. She said, don't try and start something that you can't finish, basically.
Right. Well,
you know.
My oldest daughter, Brianna, believes that Beyonce is better than Michael Jackson. I think that it's generational. As I try and explain let me explain.
I just can't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't see it. I can't
Right,
see
right.
it because
I get it. I get it. No, like as I was explaining to Brianna that one begot the other. Like I said before about the blueprint about Michael, then performers who came after him had to raise the bar to his standard. When he became the king of pop, that was a bold PR move because he got out of the R&B category and became the category of the crossover thing. So when he did that, he had more of a broader audience. So that whole thing was a greater PR move. And the way we all know the story of the 25th anniversary of Motown, when they wanted to, bring all the Motown celebrities back to celebrate the label. And, by that time he was working on, I think it was Off the Wall or Thriller at the time.
Right.
And he said, look, I think it had to be the Thriller album. He said, look, I'll come back with my brothers, but give me a solo spot. And ironically, come to find out that solo spot was supposed to go to Marvin Gaye.
Really?
Really. And then Barry Gorman, executive move, he took that solo spot away from him and gave it to Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And that whole thing about the whole Billie Jean thing, and once again, people understand this is way before social media. This is just basic television. And probably one of the best PR stunts he ever did was to promote the Thriller album with that cut Billie Jean that he performed at the 20th anniversary for Motown. So the blueprint was Michael Jackson. So again, I'm going back and forth with my daughter. We always fight over something, but I just realized talking to her that that's generational. Because no matter how many points I made about Michael Jackson, she had all these points about Beyonce. But about to tell her you wouldn't have Beyonce not being for Michael Jackson. See, once again, one was first, the other one came behind the other person. So it's like when I had hair and I was going to the barbershop, getting my haircut every 2 weeks, the older cats and the younger cats would talk about older basketball players like Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem. And Kareem was still playing when I was coming up from the basketball perspective. But then you have people talk about Oscar Robertson and Julius Erving, and then, of course, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and, of course, eventually Michael Jordan. So everything becomes generational to some degree, and they overlap. But that whole Beyonce, Michael Jackson argument, there is no argument. To me, it's always Michael.
And then supposedly the latest one, I just read it today, was Beyonce supposedly on Twitter was trying to clap in at Mariah Carey. I said, Lord,
yeah,
today. And she telling Mariah, yeah, you can sing these high notes and everything. She said, but that's not being a performer, blah, blah. It was so funny because I know how Mariah is. To Mariah, to me, like, that is a diva. She's like, baby girl, you don't know who you're talking to.
And it's all for their own, but it's all for their own content anyway. When you think about it,
I'm magic. When I come into the room, I'm magic. I don't have to sweat. I just glide into the room. I was like, go ahead, Mariah. Mariah, and Mariah is like Whitney. Like they're like the younger divas. They're not Aretha. They're not Patti LaBelle. They're not Gladys. Or Shaka Khan, or even Stephanie Mills,
But see, it's who you like. Like we're coming up on the holiday season for Christmas, and I noticed, for example, the light starts in November when they start playing all the Christmas music. So over the years, the number one Christmas song was always Nat King Cole, the Christmas song. And then over the years, it's been usurped by Mariah Carey. It's been her song now. Her song now is the number one Christmas song that people go to. And again, I just think it's also generational because we were coming up. That was always the standard. Nat King Cole's a Christmas song written by Mel Torme. That's always been like we always,
That was the song.
Exactly. So that was the song. And then all of a sudden, over the years, it became Mariah Carey. I was reading a couple articles about that the Mariah Carey song became like the #1 song that Christmas has a yield towards. So they became the standard. Real quick, let me go to the comment section here. Sick Diggy says Thriller had come out months before that Motown special. Okay, see, I'm going by what the biopic said during that time on ABC when they were showing, of course, Lawrence William Jacobs played Joe Jackson and that portrayal, and they had Michael in the studio. So it doesn't mean that he was working on Thriller. My point is that performance galvanized more record sales. Let me put it like that then, because again, we talk about at the time, MTV only had select amount of black performers on there, like Michael Jackson.
In fact, they wasn't playing a whole lot, and Michael had said that, don't play just my music, but play everybody else's music.
Right. It was two.
That's what he was telling them.
Right. It was two people that really came out publicly and denounced the fact they were not playing black music on MTV videos. Michael Jackson and David Bowie.
Yeah.
David Bowie went on an interview with one of the VJs there and said, "How come you guys don't?" I'm going to paraphrase it. Don't play enough black music on this station. And he was telling you, he was schooling him. Like, we would not be here from the standpoint of music had not been for black folk. So those two people, individual, David Bowie and Michael Jackson, really galvanized to have more black videos on MTV during that time. It's about once again the 80s. So yeah, I just think that again, it's generational, no matter how you look at it, because you can slice any way you want to slice it, but you talk to somebody younger, depending on how much younger they are from you, they got their own generational things of who they like and who they think is the shit and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to navigate, but for me, I just think it's generational still.
I guess I'm just old school.
Oh, same here.
Just like I keep seeing this interview with Prince,
mm-hmm.
and they interview him, like they say, "Yeah, when I go on stage, it's for real. It's not Memorex." My microphone is like on.
Yes.
I was like, that's what I'm talking. Because I think he wasn't the only musician, artist that said it, but he was saying, like, don't let other stuff become what you're based on. He said, you are who you are when it comes to music, and I don't know. I like a good. I just love music, and I love different types of music, and that's my therapy.
Yes, I agree.
And if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm gonna listen to some 70s, some 80s, some 90s music.
I've been going back to house music, and I love house music. I'm a house head from way back, and as we know, the house music derived from disco music. So,
right.
A friend of mine I was talking to, she was saying, "Oh, that's a disco song," and I was like, "Cool," but see, when I first heard it, it was house music. So, like Dr. Love, for example, it's a disco cut, but I got it from house music when I first heard it when I was younger. Same with Teddy Pendergrass, "You Can't Hide From Yourself." That was a house cut, but it came from disco era. So all these different disco cuts really were the foundation, as we know, for house music. So all the horns and the strings and the orchestral thing that they had with these disco. I know people didn't like disco at one point, but I have a different appreciation for it now that I'm older. I get a chance to, like, I put in my earbuds on and you hear all the different types of instruments. You really appreciate music. You really do, especially when you get older, because you hear it with different ears.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's the same thing with jazz too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Of course, my favorite is John Coltrane. Yeah. I like listening to Miles Davis.
Yeah, Miles was that dude. Yeah.
My dad he loved Wes Montgomery, the guitar. Wes Montgomery.
Your dad had style. Yeah, Wes Montgomery. Yes.
He used to, my he played that LP to death. I was like, okay. So, but I remember it.
Yes.
And it's just certain. And my mom, of course, loved Barry White, and his orchestra and everything. He was the maestro.
The maestro, that's right.
Seriously, it's just, man, anybody. It's just something about it, something about that music, that ear he had, and just that music time, and when people, and I really miss really good movies because I was telling my brother like a couple of months ago, like, it's going to be a good soundtrack, good movie if it has a good soundtrack to it, and it's going to be nominated and everything because there's something about it. Like, if you hear The Godfather, okay, that's The Godfather.
Right.
Now, if you hear Star Wars or Star Trek or Out of Africa, Gladiator, the first movie, like, okay, or there's just certain movies you just know, like, wow, like that's gonna be, or Lord of the Rings or something, there's just something about it. But
right to this day, I think Claudine is probably one of the best soundtracks of a movie I ever heard. Claudine, The Glass Knight and the Pips, and the Boomerang soundtrack, Eddie Murphy movie. That soundtrack hits.
I have the CD, and I also have the later the DVD to that and everything. Yeah, it's it's there's a lot of people starring in that too.
Yes.
Ted, Grace Jones,
Jeffrey Holder,
Gary. It's just Mr. Witherspoon was in there. He was so funny. But it was just it was that's one of your 90s movies.
Yes.
The 90s was like Best Man. That's when like one of your 90s movies. Like it's a lot of different ones. I don't know what happened to movies. I don't know if they're going through a shape shift or what.
Yeah, it's a phase like anything else. If how black folk are, if we can make money for them, then it's not a problem. If we're able to go in and because the 90s, of course, you're right. All of a sudden, started these black movies with black cast and everything, and it wasn't
Sugar,
right. Boys in the Hood,
Brothers,
right.
It was a lot. They had Booty Call, they had some other like low budget film type of movies too, but or what is that movie?
Why are you thinking? What are you about to say, Ann?
How to Be a Player.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I like that. Bill Bellamy. Let's see. We had the comment section real quick. Jed says, "Oh yeah, that's right. The Blues Brothers soundtrack was tight.
Yeah,
that was tight too. Yep. Let's see who else is out here. What's up, Lydell? My man Lydell Redmond. What's up?" He says, "Baseman. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you." My man Wise all says, "My man Base. My man Wise. Of course, Wise is the person that allows me to do this program on Real Wise Radio, broadcasting all over the place, and hopefully people will get a chance to check it out. If not, they can't get it 2 hours back. So thank you, my man Wise, for always having me on. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And the whole thing about music as we continue to let it evolve and change and things like that. I mean, it's a form of time travel for me because when I listen to certain albums or certain artists, I can remember where I was when I first heard it.
Yes.
Yep. I was talking to a friend of mine. I was telling them that music-wise, I went from I used to like punk out music. I
Remember that?
Yeah, punk out.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Oh, it was. It was deep. Punk out music. That's when I first discovered Herb Kent.
I did too.
Right, because Herb was playing punk out music. Yep.
It was so funny though. I used to listen. Yeah, I used to listen to him on the radio, and he was like, "And we're gonna do this new song called it was a Devo or something."
Yeah. Yep.
Like, was it good? I'm like, really?
Oh, I used to kick out. I did not know Herb's background until I got on the radio myself. So when I got on the radio, then I heard about Herb Kent's time on WVOM being one of the good guys, and his legacy and legendary career. I had no idea. When I first heard him, like around 11, 12, 13, it was punk out music. So he'll be on there talking about, okay, boys and girls, come back from the break. I'll have some more music by B-52s and Rock Lobster and shit like that. So that was my introduction to him at the time. But I used to, man, punk out music, then house music, then rap. Right in that order for me. So it's been an interesting evolution.
Yeah, I think what really, you were talking about time travel. I think the one soundtrack I would say that I really enjoyed, I would say, was the shit with Sinners. That soundtrack, when I was in the movie theater, when I actually saw how they did that special thing and everything, it was so like, wow.
Now what movie was that?
This was from Sinners, when they were talking
about Sinners, yes.
Right. When they talk about time travel, like through music and stuff and everything, and how that thing, it was just how they choreographed it. It was just awesome. And I was like, wow.
It was very magical like.
Yeah. And it was just as soon as it came on soundtrack, I just downloaded it. I was just like, it's something about it. And people were saying, well, and I'm not into horror. I'm like, well, okay, but it's not really everyone wants to put classifications on everything. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Into vampires. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but it's much more than that. It's much more than a vampire movie. That's what people have to understand.
It's so much more.
Yes.
It's like I keep telling people, like The Matrix. The Matrix is more than what you think it was.
That's right.
You have to go beyond the box.
That's right.
And a lot of people to this day did not really understand The Matrix, the original Matrix. I'm not talking about all the other stuff that came out.
I agree.
That whole concept.
And I gotta get to my guest that comes on in now, but I thank you so much. I always love hearing your voice, and I saw earlier in the comment section that
Chris, I want to thank all my supporters.
Talk to your public real quick before we had to sign off. Go and talk to your public. Go ahead.
I just want to say thanks to everybody. Food truck. I don't know about that, but a nice little, I would say, rooftop restaurant, open bar sounds good to me. So
I like that.
Like a future thing, whatever. But we're gonna get you here in the house one day, Chris. And it's gonna be awesome. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right, you have a better one. Take care, and thanks a lot.
Take care.
Bye bye. This man, of course, he served in the military as a New Jersey elected official, and he's much more than that. Please welcome back to BaseLine, the one and only George L. Cook III. How you doing, George?
How you doing, Mr. Base? What's up this glorious weekend?
Man, I can't call you. Got the good hand, Mr. Cook.
Hey, how things going out there in Chicago?
Strange day. It's the recurring nightmare that keeps on giving, and it's not gonna get any better anytime soon. But it's chilling. And I just people just wake up because if you thought you were in Kansas, you're not in Kansas anymore. There's a whole new day.
Yep. And speaking about Chicago, your mayor, Brandon Johnson, I give much props. He's playing 3D chess while the Trump administration is playing marbles. That executive order he signed where he made it illegal for ICE to stage, on city property or for private business that you can't stage your operations here. I love that because no one had thought of doing that before, and I think that pissed Trump, that pissed ICE, that pissed everybody off. I don't know what lawyer he had in his administration. I don't know who thought of that, but that was brilliant. And from what we're seeing outside of Chicago, the people of Chicago are putting up a fight. They're protesting. Is it like really going on like that there? Or we just seeing, maybe not the reality of what's going on? I don't know, but from outside looking in, it looks like Chicago's putting up a fight. They're not taking this lightly. And I'm really curious about what neighborhoods are they actually going into. We saw the raid on the building where many black residents were affected, where children were took out zip tied together.
Yeah.
And everybody was just arrested at one time. It was one of those we'll get them to the station and let God sort it out later things. And I wonder if they would have did that at a trailer park. I'm just thinking out loud. Would they have gone to a trailer park and
Yeah.
snatched everybody's ass up and then got to the station and sorted it out? So,
Yeah, that's what pretty much happened. We have a neighborhood called South Shore, and they did that here. I live in South Shore myself, so I just moved here a few months ago, and so that zip tie area that we talked about, the zip tie to children as well, that happened here in this neighborhood and other neighborhoods that deal with brown skinned people, but in certain pockets as they're doing now in other cities as well. I just think that you have to give props, like you said before, where it's due, whether it's Mayor Johnson or even Governor Pritzker, because Governor Pritzker said, "Come and get me," pretty much,
yeah,
and he pretty much, he put the gauntlet down because once again, Trump is a bully, and I don't know about you, but other people out there growing up, whether they were young or adults, I hate bullies, and the only thing you do with a bully is to fight back, because the bully is a punk, as all that rap song, "Punks jump up to get beat down."
jumps up to get beat down.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly. So you have to put up a fight. So just the fact that you saw what happened with Governor Newsom, Gavin Newsom in California, it was like, okay, come and get me. He was supposed to arrest him, and he's good. So all these veiled, empty threats that he sometimes had, go back to 47. Once again, people like Gavin Newsom, people like Governor Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker here in Illinois, you got to fight back, because if not, he'll be coming for you or coming for people around you to so-called send a message. No, I can't hear you, man. You keep working with that. I can't hear you, man. So George's working on the phone there. Yeah, it's on mute or something. Okay, so let's try that again. No, still can't hear you. So while George is going through that, let me go back to the comment section. I know some of these comments were coming in.
Can you hear me now?
You're back? Okay, there you go. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not on the road traveling. Yeah, I'm not on the road traveling. Sorry about that.
Okay, you're good, Doc. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I missed some of what you said. What were you saying? I want to.
Oh no, pretty much in a nutshell, what I was saying about politicians fighting back against Trump.
Yeah,
whether again it's Governor J.B. Pritzker here in Illinois or Gavin Newsom in California, these politicians have to fight back.
You have to fight back and stand behind what they said. I like the way they're using the legal system to fight back. Like I said, Trump's a bully, so they didn't account for people using the legal system and winning. That they were just supposed to bend over and take it. Thankfully, these lawyers and these mayors are not doing that. So I'm happy about that. I mean, this is ridiculous. You saw the what's that? The pastor or whatever get shot in the head with a paintball or whatever, and it was malicious. They looked right at him and did it.
Yeah, one of the so-called plastic bullets, which are still hard and they hurt.
Shot him right in the head. I'm like, what does that have to do with crowd control? You're up on the roof. You're safe. Why are you popping people in the head?
Right.
And I don't know what the pastor said, but it from looks the way his mouth was moving, it wasn't very holy.
Sometimes he got to take the collar off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, right now I got to take the collar off, Doc. We got to go toe to toe. And Diane says to you, amen, George, for a comment you had earlier. It's again the whole thing that's happening here in Chicago and other cities. All it is, again, as far as I'm concerned, is a big plausible diversion. I said before, and I'll say it again, it's the first rule of magic. If you're a person that loves magic, to create a plausible diversion at the expense of taxpayers, at the expense of the fact it all leads back to Epstein. I'm sorry. So all this, again, is just these shiny objects that are here for us to see here and there and ooh and ah and everything else. But the main thing goes back to, okay, let's see the Epstein file. So you're distracted by what's going on here. And again, going after your political so-called enemies. We saw what happened. I'll get into it later on in the program. John Bolton, Letitia James there in New York, and just recently with James Comey. So he's on a rampage. So this man needs to be stopped. It's just point blank and simple. I'm not saying how he should be stopped, but he needs to be stopped. But right now, he's really unstoppable.
Yeah, he needs to slow down because he had Letitia James quoting scripture. When a black woman starts quoting scripture and the
Oh, you
scripture
better
speech,
back the hell up.
you
Yeah,
you in trouble.
yeah,
He
yeah.
done bit off more than he can chew. And the idiot he had prosecuted the case. He's an insurance lawyer, the only one dumb enough to take the case. He
Right.
knows he's going to lose in court. He's going to, like you said, waste millions for a big distraction. And the Epstein files are still coming out. They have the 118th vote. They won't swear the lady in, but once they go back in the regular session, they won't have any excuse. They're going to have to swear her in. She's going to cast that vote, and then we start this whole Epstein message. All you're doing is delaying.
Yes,
All you're doing.
that's all. Let's see. Back to the comment section. Jed Prisker talking about the deep dish being shallow today. Clown those ice fools. Absolutely. And he also types. He said he was praying for them, and then they laughed after they shot him. Going back to that
Yes,
minister. Yeah.
minister.
See,
Yeah,
what if the gun was real?
exactly.
That's the point. That's the point. And they're one step away from that. It goes back to what Trump said all those years ago about shooting somebody in mass, on Times Square.
Times Square
And
and getting
nobody
away
was
with
saying
it.
anything. Yeah.
And this makes me wonder who are they hiring to be ICE agents? And these must be the guys who couldn't cut in the military, were
Right.
too dumb to be cops. And they're like, we'll give you a gun, give you lots of armor, make you look big, bad, and tough. You can go around scaring people.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I want them to go into the wrong project and catch one, but I know what's going to happen after that. But that's why I don't want to see it happen. If that happens, they're going to come in with overwhelming force and whatever, and innocent people are going to get hurt. But you got to do something to stop this. Something has to be done. I know some of the courts are finally starting to rule the right way, but why did it take this long?
I remember 47 was saying that we're going to go in these countries, whether it's him or Pam Bondi, Attorney General, saying that we're going to go into these cities and get these drug dealers and these cartel people. I've not seen not one.
I have never been into a major city and see a place where cartels just hang out in the open.
Thank you.
Never.
Thank
They're
you.
cartels because they're more discreet. They're not on the street level. I don't know. I've never seen that before. Then and we still don't know how many Venezuelans were actually arrested when they raided that building.
Right.
We don't know. It said we had 37 people. How many of them were people you had to let go later because they were American citizens? A lot of those people were innocent. So then they haven't come out and said exactly who was arrested, who was held, who was detained.
Let's see. Diane types, no, these are the January Sixers who are a part of ICE. Yeah. Because remember, he pardoned all 1,500 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and
don't forget ICE
and
agents and
rewarded
oath
them.
keepers. Yeah, don't forget about what's that? The Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Some of them are out there. That's why I believe that's why a lot of them have their faces covered.
Yeah.
If somebody saw them, say, "Well, that's that asshole." They don't want that.
Right.
He knows a lot of these people should probably be in jail themselves, but you give them a uniform, and they just wear whatever. No type of. One guy's in jeans, another guy looks like he's in a military uniform. No type of uniform dress, no nothing. But you're supposed to be a police agency. You're supposed to adhere to some standards. They're just doing whatever they want. Whatever they want.
Someone had posted a viral video somewhere here in the city. I'm not familiar with because they didn't post the location of the streets, but there was in a big mass parking lot, consumer parking lot, and they were chasing about five guys, brown skin brothers, and ICE was after them, and then these unmarked police cars were going after them as well. Because usually, because the police, you'll see, of course, the name and to serve, protect, and everything else. These were black and white unmarked cars with sirens on top, all white, all black, chasing these brown brothers. And the guy was filming it from his car because I assume he was a Mexican and he didn't want to get caught, but he wanted to get it on file, and then he put it online. So I'm telling you, it's dangerous out here, doctor.
Very dangerous. You don't know who is who.
And
they did a story on CNN about people posing as ICE agents and people that have been snatched up, women have been raped, and all kinds of things because nobody knows who is who. And I was surprised the courts haven't stepped and said, look, if you guys are going to do this, same uniform, ID exposed, face uncovered, so people know who the hell you are. Right. One day they're going to go on somebody's house and they're going to exercise their Second Amendment rights. They're going to bust in the wrong place. Somebody's going to, and they're going to say, hey, I didn't know who they were. They didn't identify themselves. They
Correct.
busted in my house. I defended myself. Don't want to see anybody go out in a body bag, but that's where this is headed.
It is, and again, with this so-called agenda of getting all these, drug deals and things like that, that's in the guise of. I don't think they want to go after drug dealers or so-called gang members that are out there doing. They just want to, again, do what the Nazis did when they were separating people from the standpoint of Jews and German Jews and concentration camps and things like that. Anytime you're going to zip tie children and separate them from their family, and the children are pleading with these ICE officers, I want to stay with my family, I want to stay with my mother and father. And to the deaf ears of these so-called ICE agents, because again, they're there for another purpose. They're there to eradicate and take out people of color. And you hate to go there, but if it walks like a duck and quacks, it's ducking.
Yeah, don't forget, a lot of people, when you're detained or arrested, people know you get a record. So some of these people already have records they don't even know about. So now they know who you are. You're in the system whether you know it or not, and that's what they want. So next time you so much as fart, they can come get you and say, well, you have this past, you have this history.
Yeah.
And what I'm shocked at is somebody that's former military, how you zip tie children. Nobody said, yo, hold up. Nobody said, this is the bullshit I'm not doing.
Right.
Nobody did that. That lets me know that these guys are like the guys that couldn't make the military. Because one of us would have said, what the fuck, excuse me, would have said,
Yeah.
what are y'all
All right.
doing? He would have said, what the fuck are you? Said, this we not going to do. These is kids. And they weren't even fully clothed.
No,
Whatever they had on, whatever they had
didn't
on
care.
when they dragged them out the house is what they had on.
Right.
And
No,
they
you're
knew,
right.
like I said, they knew what they were doing because they had one U-Haul for the black people, one U-Haul for the brown people. So they knew exactly what they were doing.
Man, it's all calculated to get rid of us, man. Shoot, they had the ICE agents took down a Chicago alderperson who went to the hospital to see on one of her constituents.
And
they took her ass down to the ground.
All she said was, do you have a warrant? She didn't do anything wrong. Do
Nothing.
you have a warrant? And
right.
you'd have thought she spit on that man or slapped on the way they reacted. And that lets me know that's why I don't think these guys are real law enforcement. In real law enforcement, you taught to deal with all kinds of things. People calling you anything but the name of God and not to respond.
Right. Exactly.
She asked a question that was in her rights, especially as an elected official.
Yes.
And they jumped on her like she ate the last Oreo or something.
Thank you. I mean, it's just don't make any damn sense. Real quick, let me see, back to the comment section here. Oh, hold on. Gotta get this one. This is my oldest daughter. So she really gets on this show. So I know she's hot about this. How you doing, Brianna? How you doing, girl? Let's see. They're just Klansmen. And this is really a way to get an uproar so they can, what is that, instate martial law. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Her and I talk about this all the time on the phone. This is diabolical. And again, you want to get a precursor, so to speak, to what is about to come. Because right around the corner, and she's correct, martial law be in bed by 6.
Yeah. All they want is one incident where people fight back, and like you said, it's martial law.
Yeah.
They want one incident where people fight back, where it gets ugly, and they're going to declare martial law. And like I said, I don't know if we have any generals there that are going to say no. I mean, they sat there in the room and were quiet, didn't applaud, but a lot of them are retiring. So they say, are you going to quit? Are you going to quit till you find somebody else to follow the order?
Right.
Eventually, he's going to get to some lieutenant or captain who's like, I can make rank now because there's nobody, and he's going to follow the order. That's what scares me. He's going to eventually declare martial law.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, I don't know how realistic that is in the United States because the country's too big. You don't have enough soldiers to cover the whole area. So which areas is he going to declare martial law in?
Well, he's going to try. I mean, he's trying other stuff he's trying.
But logistically, it's impossible. You don't have enough.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
It's impossible, but he's going to try that. He's going to count on people's fear and intimidation for it to work.
Fear mongering, yes.
I'm not going out there. He said there's not even any soldiers in this area. There's no way you can cover the whole country.
No, you can't.
He's depending on those ICE agents. Some cops we know are loyal to him.
Or whistle calls back to, like you said before, like the Proud Boys, people like that.
Boys,
probably to get them to go out to try to strengthen numbers type of mentality. But it's just that and just rugged individualists who claim that they're doing God's work, or whatever God they claim that they're doing God's work for. And one of the gods is obviously the 47.
If you claim you're doing God's work, why you got to cover your face? You claim you're doing God's work. And a lot of them, when the shit finally do go down, they ain't gonna go. They ain't gonna be meeting God when it's all said and done. Some of the stuff they've done to people, because eventually somebody is gonna get tired of it.
Yeah, sick types real quick. And all the woman, all the person who happens to be a woman, took her down, took it all the way down. I mean, it's out here, man. I'm telling you, these people don't care about anybody, because this whole mentality of you work for me, I'm the dictator, you're the servants, you go out there and do my bidding. That's what's happening. All this stuff going back to Bolton and Letitia James and Comey, you do my bidding. That's pretty much what it is. My so-called political enemies, everybody going to get it. And so, but we're, and I hate to use this terminology, but forgive me, are literally in the crossfires, because we get damaged along the way. Not just these high-profile people he's going after, that again is a waste of time. Because like Comey said, let's go to court. Let's go to court next year in January. Let's go to court, because I got right on my side. Sister James didn't do anything wrong at all. She was proven she didn't do anything wrong. And the person that was aligned at the former attorney general who went up against Trump, he fired his ass and then brought in a new person.
It wasn't somebody that would do whatever he said. And don't forget about Lisa Cook, came after for the same thing, mortgage fraud. Although she had loan documents that clearly said, this is my vacation home. Right. She was getting no benefit to owning that home. Now, they seem to like this mortgage fraud thing, which doesn't, even though they got a few people in their administration who they could actually bring up on those charges.
Absolutely. Back to the comment section. How you doing, Lisa London? So good afternoon, Base Nation. How you doing, Lisa? Thank you for being here as always. As everybody has their point of view and more about what we're talking about here with my man George Cook III. It's just, like I said before, and I'll say it again. I've been covering news now for 30 years. And all this shit is uncanny. I've never seen the president stay in the news cycle literally every 10 minutes of the news cycle day. Every 10 goddamn minutes. And it's tiring. This man's involved in everything. And if you watch the national news, say you watch CNN or wherever you watch MSNBC, I'm not talking about Fox News, because of course they want to kiss his orange head all the goddamn time, but the other so-called news departments or news agencies, the first 7 stories, I kid you not, is Trump. All of it is about Trump. So that's designed, of course, so that way he can reign supreme in the eyes and ears of the public. But this dude is doing the most. And so all I'm saying is that you just have too many people out here that would rather continue to go on with this type of mentality, like this whole earlier this week with Attorney General Pam Bondi going up there, go against the committee, in getting there ready to fight. I was talking to Walter about this, my friend, and he was like, "What do you expect her to do?" Well, I expect her to have some couth or some sort of respect for the for the government. But I know who her boss is. I know who she is. I'm just tired of it.
And she was put on a show for one person, and I wish somebody in there had some balls. Say, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
Thank you.
You're gonna act like an asshole. I'm gonna treat you like an asshole.
That's right.
She came in there and showed them no respect at all.
None.
She was mad she had to be there.
I think she had a notebook on each one of them because her quips were too quick to go back at everybody. So I think that was a setup because she knew who was going to be on the committee. So every time it was Dick Durbin or somebody else or Senator the White House and people like that, everybody she already had a retort for, already prepared. So no, she came in to fight.
That's all she was there for, put on a show for one person.
Yeah,
so I got to keep my job because I ain't qualified to do shit else. So I'm going to go ahead and put on this show.
That's right. It's going to be a shit show with that, so hold your nose. George L. Cook III, always a pleasure, brother. Where can people find you at, sir?
Find me at George Cook at AA Reports on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Fanbase, of course, TikTok, and YouTube. Oh, and you were talking about Sinners earlier. Rumor is going to be re-released for Halloween. The big screen, what's that? Oh my God, the IMAX version and all that. Only in that format for Halloween. So that's the rumor. It's going to be re-released.
Man, keep us informed about that, man. That'll be perfect for Halloween, man. That's another PR boost. Once again, that movie changed the game, man.
And they better have more than 2 seconds of new footage. The rumors they made.
They
slip in 2 minutes that you can't even tell was slipped in. Talking about we put in new footage.
All right.
It's supposed to be re-released for Halloween, so let's cross our fingers.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, George. I'll see you next time. Thank you as
All right, have a
always.
good one, bro.
All right, have a better one. Take care. George L. Cook III joins us on the second and fourth Friday here on BaseLine. Let's see. Okay, I can't see. I got these glass. I can't see. Let me see. They start using civilians the same way they used the poor and croppers to watch slaves. They were severely outnumbered, but with fear controlled, they were able to have millions enslaved with a small number of slavers, to manage them. Sounds extreme, but this is nothing but repeated behavior. That's Brianni. Thank you for that. You're kind of smart. I appreciate that. Thank you for typing that. That's why I say don't forget about the judge in South Carolina who had her home burned by potential arson. Yeah, I got that in my notes too. Yeah, it's a fight. It literally is a fight, to say the very least, and you had to pay the price for it, some way, shape, or form. I admire the people sent up to Trump and his bullies and people like that, but it's first and foremost a fight. Let's see here, Diane. Stephen Miller told them they were unleashed. These fools are still being paid during the shutdown. $100,000 a year, $40,000 student loan forgiveness, and $50,000 signing bonus. I remember that, Diane. What's his name? The actor Dean Cain, who used to play Superman on Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman on ABC. He played the lead, and he had come out a while back saying, trying to use as a recruitment tool for Ice Baby and stuff like that. You gotta be kidding me, man. You need $1 that bad, you're gonna start working for Trump? You need $1 that bad. I guess you want a so-called some money coming in. I don't know how your residuals are for Lois and Clark. I think she meant to say overseers instead of croppers. Okay, let's see. Sorry, that was on response to the comment that there aren't enough soldiers to declare martial law across the country. LOL. Okay, there you go. Don't get me wrong. Now, this is my daughter we're talking about. She'll tell you if she made a mistake or not, and would correct herself, or more so, correct you. Ooh wee. Let's see here. Again, you call in at 312 597 2106. Okay, hold on. Let me take care of this. Okay, maybe I could do something real quick. Give me a couple of seconds. I have to do some maneuvering. Let's see if I have the link to chat, please. Give me 1 second. I gotta take care of this real quick. Let's see here. Okay, let me do. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so let me do this. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Do this. Okay. Okay, got that. And then go over here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . hell? Okay, that didn't work. Give me a couple of seconds. Hold on. Do this again. All right. Okay, then. Okay, there you go. That should do it. Okay. Okay, there it is. So, as again, my guest Grace will be on at 5:30 Central Time. Here's the link for you to come on prior to my guest. So you want to come on? That's Sig asked for the link, or anybody else want to ask for the link? Come on through. There's a link right there, and then we'll make it do what it do. Let's see here. Okay. All right, more than welcome. More than welcome. And again, the climate that we're living in is, you can use your own words, obviously, it's dangerous, it's scary, you have to watch your back, sides, and front. There's nothing nice out here at all. So you have to be very leery. And again, know your surroundings and understand that you have to protect yourself and your loved ones. And it's not the country that you thought it was. And there was one actor, I didn't get his name, but he was on a viral video I saw. And he was saying that this is exactly what United States of America is exactly what it is. And he also said that from the standpoint of he had a problem saying United States because this country has never been a form of unifying anybody. Racism, socialism, maybe all types of other isms that keep us completely separated. And he was right in his assessment. I can't knock him for that. He's right. Because the underbelly of this country has always been pure evil. Anytime another people from another homeland come over here to take over the land of indigenous people, to pillage, to steal, to rape, amassing their monies from doing all that. In this country alone, let alone other countries, slavery, the ones who sold us out, the whole slave trade and everything else. The country on the backs of Black, brown, Asian people that made this country great, they made this country great, not taking away from the contributions of some white people, some Caucasian people, of course. I'm talking about the racist, Sieg Heil type of white people. I'm talking about them. And you want to go back to those days where y'all's a boss. You want to go back to those days? Okay, Rasta Rook. It's not happening. You can try all you want to. These people out here nowadays, the younger generation in particular, they ain't gonna care for that. They're gonna storm a mud hole in your face. They'll try to bring back all that crap. Let's say what's up to Sick Dig. How you doing, Sick? Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, big man. How you been?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too much. Oh, I want to apologize to your daughter, Brianni. I wasn't being disrespectful when I said you might have said meant sharecropper or anything like that. I mean overseer for sharecropper. It is what it is. My apologies, ma'am.
No, not a problem. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure she's a sweetheart. She's a kind-hearted soul. By the way, Base. I hope you noticed that I got John Shaft as my avatar this week for a good reason.
All right.
You know, it's the month of October. You know, everybody, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and everything. But as a black man, although I'm not African American, but as a black man, As somebody whose father grew up idolizing Shaft, Richard Roundtree is somebody I have to make my reference to when it comes to male breast cancer, because he was a breast cancer survivor back in '93. He underwent treatment. He was diagnosed and underwent treatment in '93, and back then it was hard. Double mastectomy, radiation therapy, whatnot. But within a year, he went back to work after that. That shows how strong of a man he was.
Yes.
And for me personally, this summer, one of my dad's good friends, who's like a second father to me, he was diagnosed with male breast cancer, but they caught it early, and he underwent successful treatment for it. So since like the past decade, anytime it's October, instead of wearing a pink ribbon, I have this avatar on my Facebook, and every November it's Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band, because he's a prostate cancer survivor. That was one of the reasons why I take prostate cancer seriously, and it convinced my late father, God rest his soul, to get checked for prostate cancer when I told him about Charlie Wilson's story. So we should always remember to monitor our health and everything, especially nowadays, because it's very stressful. Everybody's, on edge. I can understand why. And I just hope nobody, their anger, their rage doesn't get the better of them. Even though, some people, these are trying times. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. It's funny you have the avatar there of Richard Roundtree. My wife, when she was a kid, grew up with Richard Roundtree's daughter.
Oh.
And here in Chicago, and she told me stories that he would, come by. For example, if the daughter had a birthday party or whatever birthday parties that the daughter went to, whether it was hers or other people's birthday parties or fellow students, he would come by. He would show up a lot because he did some modeling here in Chicago, I believe, for Ebony Jet at one point, and so that's his Chicago connection. And so he stayed here for a while. And again, just the fact that, and everybody, of course, knew he was Shaft, for God's sake. Just the fact that to, again, have that ability. Some people, as you know, depending on their celebrityism, don't want anything to do with quote-unquote common folk, but he wasn't like that at all. He was just somebody that was just down to earth, literally. And when he came out with the breast cancer diagnosis, it was very telling, and it was very alarming, but it woke up a lot of us to even think in that direction, because it was always associated with women and breast tissue when it came to women. And when it comes to breasts, people usually go straight to the female anatomy. I think, me personally, that it was Richard Roundtree that helped change the discussion of male breast and how that should be examined as well. So, no, he always gets the props for a lot of us who looked at the fact that it could be us. Just the fact that he was able to be a great spokesman for it by getting checked out, and like I said before, was able to get diagnosed and worked years after his diagnosis. Hell, I remember he made a few episode appearances on A Different World at one point. So again, like I said before, it was just good to see him working again during that time. So no, I totally agree with your avatar, and gotta get it checked out.
Thank you.
Gotta get it checked out. Absolutely, get yourself checked out. Not just for that, just in general. I went to my general practitioner a couple of weeks ago, and I gotta go back to my cardiologist in 2 weeks. So you gotta be proactive. Gotta be proactive. Yes.
Yeah. I remember you mentioned. I remember you mentioned on the Boom Shakalaka back in the day, a couple years ago on Snowman in the Morning, how you underwent open heart surgery and everything. If I'm not mistaken,
it wasn't open heart surgery. No, it was robotic surgery. So
robotic surgery. Okay.
Right. So what happened was 10 years ago, when I was diagnosed for the heart surgery, my then cardiologist said we have two options. Either we go traditionally and go through your chest and do it that way, or we go robotically and everything will be done inside of your chest and not cut you open. So I went with the latter Dr. Balke was my surgeon. Dr. Balke was the leading cardiologist in robotic surgery in the nation.
Mm.
And,
I'm sorry, Dr. Balke?
Dr.
Or
Balke.
Balke?
Balke.
Dr. Balke.
Balki.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I was thinking of Branson Pinchot's character, Balke, when you said that from
No.
Perfect Strangers.
The Perfect Strangers, yeah. No, not him. No, I probably still be in bad shape if he operated on my ass. So no, but
no, he would have been effective. It's just that his accent would have thrown you off and made you uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, say that again.
I said he would have been very professional and would have been the top surgeon, but his accent would have thrown you off. That Miposian accent sometimes is a very confusing accent. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I wouldn't even take it. Give me on the operating table. I can't rock and roll with that, doctor. I'm sorry. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I had to be more proactive on this one. So it's been 10 years since my operation. And because I had it in July of 2015. So it's been 10 years. I need to reach out to his office. I'm going to have him on the show. I'm going to do here or on the Wednesday show, have a special show and go over what happened to me 10 years ago into the surgery. It's a nod to Letterman. I remember David Letterman had his open heart surgery years prior. He invited his whole medical staff on the show. So for me,
I remember.
So yes, I'm gonna do something like that just for people to know, to get yourself checked out. You obviously don't know what's going on internally. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't always a good patient myself personally. I had to really do an about face and realize that you have to face it. Sometimes you don't want to. I understand. Sometimes I don't want to face everything, but you try to face what you can from the standpoint of what the doctors are telling you. But if you're doing the right thing and you're losing weight and you're on the right path for things, and you just have to be proactive, and again, you just have to be able to face what comes your way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, take me for example. About a couple months ago, I had to see my doctor and had to ask him some questions about a couple of things. And while I was there, I thought, it's best I do some blood work. I do blood work every once in a while because, I remember about 9 years ago, something like 8, 9 years ago, I had a bit of a scare. Because I forget how well efficient my body is. Sometimes I scare myself. I developed a very particular taste for these easy made brownies because I have like dietary restrictions, but these brownies like fit within my dietary restrictions. And I was having them a lot. And I would have them a lot. I would have them like on a frequent basis.
Right.
I remember one time I was just taking a whiz, going to number one, and I smelled my urine. I got scared a little bit because I thought, is this what hypoglycemia or prediabetes is like? Did the blood work and everything? They said, and I told them what happened. They said, no, you're good. You drink a lot of water, don't you? I said, yeah, I do. I constantly drink a lot of water because I need to keep my kidneys in shape. He said, oh no, then your body's just working normally. Your blood work, your sugar levels, everything is good. It's just that, you have low iron, but your blood sugar is good. Nothing to be worried about. Base, you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening. You mentioned about that you were good, but you smelled your urine and it would make you panic.
When I was taking a leak, a couple of times, I was like a little concerned. Well, not panic, but a little concerned because I don't want to panic. Because if I panic,
you good, Doc. I would panic. Yeah.
No, I know. If I panic, it's just going to be counterproductive. So I know I got scared, and I was like, okay, I need to calm my nerves and take the immediate steps and be prepared. And when I got the test results, and they said, no, you're good. So each time I check myself, even though I'm smelling, even if I smell it a little bit, sometimes like, okay, that's just normal. Right. But I always make sure that, watch my stuff because I understand how type 2 diabetes will creep up on you. Yeah. Like David Wayans talked about when he got his diabetes diagnosis and everything. And it took Keenan to show up and say, well, looks like we're going to have to make some changes. So they went through Damon's kitchen and everything, through his fridge and got rid of everything that had sugar and everything in it.
Yeah.
He had to change his diet around completely. But going back to the whole breast cancer thing,
Yes.
people forget. First of all, a woman's breast and a man's breast a man's pectoral muscles are completely different. Because remember, a woman's breast, its composition is mostly fat tissues and mammaries because it serves a different purpose to feed infants and everything.
Right.
Man, it's mostly muscle tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So cancer spreads a lot faster through muscle tissue than it does through fat tissue. So the rate that it goes from stage 1 to stage 4 in a woman is a lot longer compared to a man. So we can get for us, if you get a stage 1 diagnosis, you better do something. Stage 1, stage 2, you better get on it immediately, because if not treated within a matter of weeks to months, it can go to stage 3 or stage 4. And if it gets to stage 4, that's terminal, because it means it's going to spread to either your lungs, your liver, or to your brain. And I remember reading an article by the late Lori Beckland, who was a LA Times reporter,
mm-hmm.
who wrote about her final months of life, because she was she had stage 4 or breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, and she talked about how she was one of the rare few cases where it spread to all 3 areas. But she learned how to make the most of her time and everything while raising awareness of breast cancer. Not to be a Debbie, not to bring it down about it, but these things need to be, but these things need to be talked to, need to be addressed. I mean, there are people who've lost family members to it, but the majority of people who get their diagnosis, usually it's the non-malignant form.
Mm-hmm.
And only rare few, and women think with also difference between men and women when it comes to breast cancer, where breast cancer diagnosis is, the majority of women will get the non-malignant form, the benign form, excuse me.
Yes.
Most with men, it's almost always the malignant form we get diagnosed with. That's another thing. That's why, even though the numbers in comparison are rarer for men, but we always get the malignant form of it. So that's why you have to be really on top of it.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back.
That's why I'm just glad.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Right.
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Let the comments go. Let the see the comments.
No, go ahead. I'll listen to
please.
it and I'll get the comments after you do a comment. Go ahead.
I'm just, like I said, when I heard about my uncle's diagnosis and everything, we FaceTime with each other, had a lengthy conversation about everything. And I'm just glad he's there. He's still around. I mean, he's been like one of the most, this is somebody who along with my dad, raised me. Along with my parents, he and his wife, raised me and everything. So they're my second parents. And I'm just glad he's around. I always taught me a lot from him, but he's also and also this man, I learned so much about the dangers of diabetes from him because he has type 1 diabetes. Mm-hmm. And I understand, this is nothing to mess around with.
That's true. No, you have to be.
So I'm glad he's alive.
Oh yeah, and that's good because again, some people ignore it and they don't want to do anything with it, and I think that's a travesty to look at your life, look at your health, because it belongs to us. Obviously, it's our lives, but think about, like I said before, about your uncle, and if your person has children and extended family, things like that. You should do it for them as well, not just yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Get this straightened out for them, and because it just, to me, if you're a person that believes in family, first, then you want to be around for a while for your family. So to me, this kind of makes sense. But sometimes depending on the person, him or her. So let me go back to the comment section real quick. So my man, Dr. Ron Ford, how you doing? Dr. Ron says Bill Cherry was his manager going back to Richard Roundtree, and Bill lived in Chicago. Okay, there you go. Yeah, see, well, Dr. Ron knows everybody. So he used to work in the entertainment industry and stuff like that. So he would know. So what's up, Dr. Ron? Hey, man. Good that you hear my brother.
Thank you, Dr. Ron.
So yeah, the concept of trying to grapple with news medical wise is not the easiest. I use myself for example. I got to a point I stopped going to the doctor because every time I go to the doctor, oh, we found something else. Oh, something else. Like, oh, and I got tired of the O's. I'm like, this ain't the time to the morning show. Oh, everything was and I personally got tired of it. I stopped going to the doctor because I knew good and goddamn well that if I went there, they get something else on me. So I got a list of shit that's wrong with me already. I don't need to add some more. So, but at the same time, you have to deal. And again, I recently have good news from my doctor, so I'm doing pretty good on that. Let me knock on wood on that. But you just have to be more understanding. And I try. Don't even mind. I have my good days and bad days like anybody else.
True.
Sometimes, you just have to sit back and be still and realize that, it could be much worse. You try to give yourself a pep talk or talk to people that can, get you out the hole sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think at the same time, when you look at how life is, try to make the most of it. We don't know how long we have on walking the earth here, but whatever time we have left or whatever time you want to invest into it. Make it worthwhile. Make it worth something. And from a medical standpoint, like myself, with my family, with my friends, especially my grandchildren, I gotta be around a little bit longer, so you gotta take care of yourself.
My case, one thing I like to do is I call my little brother. It was like 9 years my junior. He had a birthday like about a week ago.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday to him. We oftentimes like to play the dozens when I call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what siblings do anyway. The majority of them.
Well, yeah. With given the two of us, 9 years of age difference and whatnot, it's like Tom and Jerry half the time. But since he's my size as well, he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
It's more like it's like the Admiral and Tim Duncan just looking at each other, just having a conversation face to face.
Yes.
We gonna get this championship or what? We gonna get this championship. It's like the Twin Towers.
Real quick, right quick,
yeah.
Dr. Ron. Yeah, PSA, men in capital letters, get yourself checked out. Also capital letters. Yes. 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 Preach. Get the message out there. Go on and get yourself checked out. And
get checked out. Hey.
On your yasses.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna say this right now. I've said this many times. Even Snowman can vouch when I said this. One of the things I used to say to my father on Father's Day, every time I called him on his birthday, Father's Day, or any other day, I said, "Thank you for putting that foot in my rear end." And I say that to say this: when it comes to prostate cancer and getting screened, hey, I'm not scared of a doctor's finger because I grew up with my father's foot in my behind. When you were a little kid, and my father was like 6'1", and he wore size 10, but he had wide feet. That was double duty.
Hey.
I was like, ooh. And I inherited his big feet, even though I'm like a size 9. I had to size down because, I inherited certain genes from mom, but they wide. And I got a good grip, and I can grip. I got a good grip with my toes.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Steve. I mean, cut you off. Sorry, I had to go to my next guest, but thank you for what you contribute to and letting us know what's on your mind, because I can get to my next guest here. But thank you, Sick Dicky, as always. My guest coming up now, who I've had on the show before, and I learned a lot in the short time that she was on here. And the great thing about when you run into people who are just, what can I say, dynamic. They are people that you want to be around, people that you want to learn from, people that you want to glean into who they are to, I say, make you better. So please welcome back to BaseLine, Grace Aquino. Hey, Gracie.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I hope you got the good vibes, because that's what we're going to be about today. So I put the theme, Jerusalem. It's an African song and it went like wildfire, it spread throughout the US because it's so cheerful, it's so inspirational, it's so uplifting that what we need in our lives, somebody to lift us up. And that's what we have today. So I'm so happy to join you.
I'm
Thank
so
you,
happy you're
Chris,
here.
for having me. I'm
Thank you.
super, super thrilled. And we're going to be talking about things that relate to everything that you talked about before, because that's contained in my book, The Fountain of Youth, The Power to a Healthy and Well Lived Life.
Well, we
So,
definitely need that. We definitely need that, especially nowadays. So I want to let everybody know that you are the author of the new book, The Fountain of Youth, The Power to a Healthy and Well-Lived Life. There's the book right there. That book, I'm telling you, I need a copy of that. I need you to send me an autographed copy so I can say I knew her
we'll
before she
autograph
was.
it for you.
Yes, I knew before she became very popular, and I want to say I knew her when. So yeah, I gotta get a copy of that. First of all,
Yes,
I went to your TikTok site and you're
yes.
promoting your book. First of all, who did the audio for that piece of information while the book was being shown? Who did that?
It was an octogenarian, like the many that I know, which I interview over 100 in order to find the fountain of youth. And she was thrilled with the book. And she was so enthusiastic. And she said, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it endlessly. And this is what young people need because um, they are exempt from that and they need to know what happens throughout life to have a holistic living that leads to spirit enrichment, but also the other areas of our life, which I define as the 11 keys to living that will reach you to longevity. So I would like to dedicate this segment to my 95-year-old aunt, John, and also to my aunt in heaven who lived over 90 years old as well, Etiachini. And I would like to dedicate this to all those long living relatives, friends who taught me during conversations how to live a plentiful life filled with joy. And nowadays, longevity is a very relevant topic that many seek to learn about, as you were talking about health issues.
Yes. The it goes back again to just trying to get a grip on a life you have. I want to go back to the audio that you had on TikTok, which to
Yes.
me was incredibly fascinating. So some of the points that was being said on the audio on your TikTok page, the illusion is that change takes time. The truth is, change happens the moment you decide.
Correct.
And that went through me because
Correct.
also I want to go over some of the audio that you had on there. You don't need more time. You need to shift in being.
Mm-hmm.
And there are infinite versions of you. See, I'm
Correct.
a Doctor Who fan. And Doctor Who has always been one of my favorite sci-fi TV shows since I was a teenager.
Good.
And this has Doctor Who all over it because, as people know or maybe loosely follow it, it deals with a person who's called a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey, and when the body is injured, he regenerates into a new body, whether it's a male or female. And so, the 11th Doctor has something similar to this when he said before he was dying, "We're all different people." When you think about it, the key thing is to remember the people you used to be. So when I heard that audio, it reminded me of this. And do you think that part of the fountain of youth is to remember the people used to be?
Part of it. Part of it. As you know, we are a spirit inside. We have a soul. It's all about the body, mind, and soul. And we need to enrich our soul. And sometimes we forget who we are. We are somebody that came from above.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here in body, testing lessons, challenges. Yes, it's hard. We live through ups and downs in life. And we come here mainly to grow our spirit. Now, we have to take care of our body. And that's why there's 11 keys, because it's not only a spirit, although a spirit is probably the most important part of ourselves, because the beauty has to come from within. And like that gentleman sweetly said, yes, the chance is yours. And the chance can start any day. It doesn't matter if you were already diagnosed with diabetes, if you have a fun sized body, or if you have cardiovascular diseases, or even cancer, like it was being said before.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're not dead, we always have a chance. And that's why this book pertains to everybody, from young people to, you know, younger people, as I said, because we can decrease our waste. We can take care of our nutrition, our digestion, the things that lead to cardiovascular diseases, and even with cancer. As tough as it is, there are treatments that are not necessarily fully medical conditions, fully medical treatments that are done that are so hard on the body, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. I've seen all that. And sometimes there's functional medicine that few people know about, and that works miracles. So the book contains a lot of golden nuggets to be a more healthy being, so that you can embark in that journey towards longevity. And if we're going to talk about longevity, I just need to tell you what longevity is.
Okay.
What is longevity? Many people think that longevity is just being older than 50. No, longevity is the art of being a productive, healthy human being with a lifestyle that allows activities of choice for someone older than 80. 80. Now, we have 25% of our genes. What if I told you, Chris,
Mm.
that 25% of our genes is what determines longevity? What
Okay.
would you say?
25%?
Yes,
That's pretty low.
pretty low, right? Well,
Right.
that's just the genes. But then 75% is up to you. 75% is up to you. So
Mm.
you can do it. If you were not gifted with the genes for longevity, you still have 75% to work on. And that's what this book is about. Let's work on the 75% that I can impact and that I can take the choice to start living a healthy life. For what? For productivity, to be active, to
Mm.
enjoy with family, friends, with service, community, with career. And it's doable. It's doable. So for health tips, I can be talking hours and hours, because I myself has experimented the ups and downs of health situations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm coming from.
Yes.
I survived conditions like diabetes too. Believe it or not, as thin as you see me, I had diabetes before. because I reached 220 pounds after an accident.
Oh man.
And what
Okay.
did I do? Yes, a pretty bad accident,
Yes.
Chris. It was tremendous. But what did I do with that time? Well, I immersed myself in studying the different philosophies in the art of living, anywhere from Buddha, Jesus Christ, Seneca, Stoicism, and many different philosophies. Number one. Number two, I had surrounded myself with people at least older than me 20 years. I've participated in a lot whole of activities, volunteering activities, and fun activities that had a lot of people 70 years old and younger. I was the tiny one.
Yes. Yes.
But it was a pleasure because that's when you acquire the wisdom that is not passed from generation to generation. And sometimes the way to acquire it is this way from an older person who has lived life enough, well, a well lived life, who has learned the lessons and is willing to share that conventional wisdom, the best practices, including regular medicine, what works
Mhm.
and what doesn't work, and the alternative treatments, and then a little bit more. Because, like you were asking, there's more, there's a spirit.
What would it take for a person, Gracie, to achieve their own nirvana? Because sometimes it's easier said than done. I think certain people get to a point in their
Correct.
lives where
Correct.
they're down in the dumps. They got bills to pay, obviously. Their personal life is not what it should be, and you're in a dark
Mhm.
place. What would it take for a person to achieve some form of enlightenment or nirvana?
Correct. So sometimes enlightenment comes with a big crisis that turns into your transformation, that propels you. And I hope that that's not the case for the majority of people because
Hmm.
you have the chance to choose not to do that, not to be in that situation where you need a heart transplant or a liver transplant. No, it can be done before. And that's why this book is educational. So, yes, it's very frustrating when a doctor tells you, oh, you just need to exercise and eat right. Oh,
Hmm.
how simple. How simple. How do I do that exactly? Tell me, how do I do that exactly when they give you that order? It takes a lot of determination,
Yes.
but it takes a whole lot of things. Not only that, so you have to have good nutrition. When are you sent by the doctor with a recipe of what exactly you need to eat? What you should not eat, like pastas, pizza, everything that contains flour, only moderation. And I had one day where I went into my kitchen and I removed everything that had carbs, everything.
Hmm.
That took a lot of guts because my cabinets went empty. But guess what? I replaced them with foods that were not as rich in carbs, and it came with a lot of different research that I did, and knowing how much there should be for each meal. And I share that in my book. Another area is sleep. Rest is so important. Rest. Sleeping well. How many of us can say, I sleep 8 hours a night? Not everybody.
Not
Not
too many people I
everybody.
know, right?
No, it's very hard.
Yes.
So I put in my book different techniques of how you can sleep right because rest is important. It's important for the brain. It's important to generate new ideas. the body actually regenerates during sleep.
Yes.
If we do not sleep the 8 hours a day, then our body cannot recover and regenerate those cells. Now, from the moment we are alive, we are dying. That's something that nobody tells you.
Right. That's
I'm
true.
telling it to you. Our cells calm down in the skin, in the hair. Have you noticed your hair? It comes
Hmm.
down.
Right.
It's dead. From here on, it's dead. We just keep it long, well, because we have some vanity and what style.
Yeah, my hair died years ago. I had to put a funeral. I had a homecoming for my hair, so I completely relate to the hair dying. And not we talking about not chemical. We talking about like X's. And you see those cartoons when somebody is dead and the X's on their eyeballs. Yeah, that was the follicles of my hair. They each had X's on it, and they all took a dirt nap. So I can relate to that. Yes, you're right about the dying part of the
That's
cells and
funny.
everything else. Yes,
However, with rest, we can regenerate some
yeah,
cells enough to continue to live.
yes,
It's not going to be 100%, but there's going to be enough to keep us alive and healthy. Now, another aspect, mobility. We
hmm,
need to keep moving. And actually, from your chair, you can be doing exercise just right now. I can teach you an exercise that you can do exactly what you are, and that burns a ton of calories, just like that. Now, do people know that? No, they
no,
don't. People who are bedridden, there's lots of exercises that they can do, even though when they're on a bed. So there's this idea, which you get from the doctors, that, well, the only exercise is running. Well, running damages your knees. Hello. Long term, they do. There's walking, swimming. Swimming is one of the best exercises you can do.
mm,
There's so many different exercises. There's yoga. Yoga contributes to a very resilient mind, the tranquility and serenity that your body needs to reduce the levels of cortisol. And then it gives muscle mass. Guys, I do yoga. I don't do extreme stuff.
mm.
And it's a way of living. I have a yoga body now. I'm less than 120 pounds. I'm
Okay.
a size 2. And with the size 2, the pain went away.
Mm,
All the pain went away because inflammation is the number one reason why we're sick. And sometimes that affects nutrition as well, the digestion.
yes.
Most people in the US are constipated, bloated, and with a very inflamed gut. Well, guess what? The gut is our second brain. Why do you think people say, oh, let me, well, what's the saying, Chris, about the gut?
Well, don't let your gut fool you. Outside.
Don't let your gut fool you
Yeah,
because that's your other brain.
yeah, that's
Your
true. Yeah.
other brain. So the gut needs to be taken care of, which is
Hmm.
digestion.
Yes.
And I've researched this very famous doctor in New York City and all her teachings of how to get a healthy gut. And I give
Yeah.
it in my book. What do you need to do in order to have a healthy gut? So it's a holistic approach to living. It doesn't take one thing because, like Ponce de Leon came to America,
Mm,
and after a very long journey, all the way from Spain, he reached Florida in search of the fountain of youth. What did he find? He found a very beautiful spring. Yes, absolutely. He drank from it, expecting that a miracle was going to happen. And then his all his crew were looking. "Ah, what's going to happen? Is he going to become young again after all those trips, those hardships?" And it turned out, no, he didn't. But guess what? He realized the truth about the fountain of youth. It's in the hardships and the habits that you create in your life. It's not just one thing, it's different things. And that's what I call the holistic approach to living, with the 11 keys to a healthy and well lived life.
Gracie, why do we try to find the fountain of youth in general? And the reason why I ask that question, not only because the title of your book, but I think we get to a certain age and we harken back to our youth when we were stronger or when we
Right.
had more power. There was a movie came out years ago with
Mhm,
Robert Downey Jr., Chaplin. It was based upon the biopic of Charlie Chaplin. And he's talking to his biographer, and he said to him, "When I was young and in my power." And I was like,
mhm,
that stuck with me because
mhm,
to Chaplin, to him, because he achieved a lot of stardom when he
mhm,
was young. It was like in his
mhm.
1920s at the time when he was doing silent film, created the whole little tramp character. But just the fact we got older and said about young in my power, what is it about us that we want to again go back in time and maintain that? Like you just said, it's not just one thing; it's a myriad of things. Why is there a cross reference? And try to understand that. Why is that a disconnect sometimes?
That's such a good question, Chris. We try to hold on to our young years. And because we were strong, we had a beautiful mane of hair. We were perhaps really beautiful without wrinkles. And we might have had a lot of energy, too much energy. But guess what? Aging gracefully is a gift. Not a lot of people can say they reach their 60s, their 70s, their
Yes.
80s, their 90s. And you acquire so much wisdom throughout the years. Well, some of us,
Yeah.
not everybody.
True. Yeah.
As you very well know.
Yeah. Not all of us grow gracefully with age. Not all of us do, right?
So, I mean, mouth wise,
Yes.
and mindset wise.
Hmm.
So, as we age gracefully, in terms of how we enrich our spirit, how we understand that we have to love ourselves first in order for us to love other people,
Yes.
then we have a better understanding of what life is about. And that's a great jewel that we have. It's a great gift. If we reach 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100 or plus. My youngest friend is Hobby, and he's been a source of inspiration to me.
Hmm.
Hobby is 100 years old.
Congratulations.
Yes, but you see him, and he has the best attitude. This year, he went into a pilgrimage walking, and he rides his bike, and he's amazing. It's an amazing attitude. He tries to learn year after year a different discipline,
Hmm.
which actually builds the brain, expands the neuroplasticity in our brain for us to better communicate, to better move,
Yes.
to do everything that we do, even if we're 50, 60 or so on. And guess what? For those people who are young, you don't see it coming, but it's coming to you if you're lucky. So count yourself lucky if you are above 50 and still alive, and hang on there, but try to hang with the different habits in a holistic approach that will grant you a healthy and well lived life.
You know, I was sitting here talking to you, Gracie. I reminded of something I have not thought about in years. So when I was younger, And I grew up here in Chicago, and every summer there was this guy who had nothing but shorts on, like back then, like the shorty shorts on, almost to his crouch level. And he never wore a short. He never wore. He had on short. Never wore a shirt and sandals. And he would bike ride throughout the neighborhood. I don't know what neighborhood he was from. But he passed down our street. He looked like Gandhi. He looked
Oh,
like
perfect.
he looked
Perfect.
like Gandhi. He had white shorts, and he looked like I always called him Gandhi. I don't know what the man's real name was.
Right.
He looked like a taller version of Gandhi because he looked like he had to be about maybe like 6 feet, maybe 6'2" on the bike, and
Uh-huh.
he was ripped. I mean, in shape. He would sweat, and I think that was part of his workout, obviously, to drive out, not drive, but bike ride in the summertime. And it goes
Mhm.
back to what you said about age and youth and the mindset and holistic and things like that. This was like the 80s.
Right.
I was seeing like the 70s, 80s. And just the fact that somebody back then, you always run into people who were advanced in the mind that did all the stuff we're talking about even back then. Just didn't know it because
Right.
we caught up. Now we're
Right.
catching up, but they were way ahead of the game. My aunt got rest her soul, my auntie Lane. Before she died, she was 24 when she passed away, unfortunately, and she would do taekwondo
Mhm.
and
Great
yoga
discipline.
in front of my grandparents' house, and she would do these moves like you see now that people in Asia do every morning. Get up every morning, they go up and they do tai chi and everything else. She was doing it in the 70s, and she would sweat
Mhm.
profusely, making all these slow moves and everything else. Like, how can you sweat? You're not doing anything, running around. But I realized that again, when you know your body as you do,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know what kind of workout is going to be the good regimen for your body, for your mind, your spirit, and the whole thing. And just the fact you find out what works for you, you
Correct.
experiment, you try different things until you find
Correct.
out what works for you. So it seems to me, for people out there watching the program and listening, why would your book, The Fountain of Youth, be a good investment for them? Why would it be? Why would it be good for them?
It's gonna. It's a call of action for them to start living a life that is conducive to longevity. It has an explanation of the different areas that need to be followed in order to have an active and productive lifestyle. It's based on experience and research and interview of more than 100 people. So, do you want octogenarians?
Mhm.
So, if you want to reach that stage of your life, how long do you want to live? How long do you want to live? Does that have a price to you? So, what about 11 11 $11.11? Like I put the price on the soft cover and $22 on the hardcover because the content there is worth much more than that if you get to live all that time. In addition, it's a book that it's concise. It's not too long. It has only 100 pages. It's a very easy read and it's very happy. There's suggestions to read a playlist, to listen to a playlist. Meanwhile, you hear it. And then it has inspirational quotes that will get you going.
Mm.
And then it has some Bible quotes for those who are religious, so that it will give them that spiritual strength to keep going, because that's all we need. We need to make a choice for health. And then once we make a choice, then we need to find out how to do it. Now, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of information, and that's what
Mm.
people face. There's so much data, but they don't know what is valid, what really works. I do. I do because I've been through it. I almost died. And
Mm.
just by God's mercy, I'm here, alive, talking to you. And in that process, I learned how I've been through the system. All those, when you talk about diabetes,
Yes.
cardiovascular disease, and cancer. I've had them all. And yet, here I am. Do you see me sick? No. Is my brain working? Yes. Why? Because I have followed all these practices and they work. So it's the best investment you can make. It's really affordable because I put it out there for everybody. I'm passionate about this. I'm
Yeah.
passionate about wellness. I want people to be healthy, to not be deceived by the conventional wisdom that is dead wrong, dead wrong. And I put in there what really works and what doesn't work. I'm not a doctor, but I've been through all the pains, and all the treatments and all the specialists. And yet I survived without that because of all the investigation that I did. And I
Mhm.
feel very fortunate that, and of course, God kept me
Yes.
here for a reason. And I promise God, if you keep me here, I'm going to write a book about wellness. And He kept me here. He kept me here. I had already said bye bye to my children, bye bye to my brother, bye bye to my parents. However, I didn't pass, and I think I have this purpose now to share with the world what it is to live a healthy life but productive, where you can be active. And that includes, of course, your friends, your family. Have a sense of connection. What career you have? Are you passionate about your career? Let me ask you something, Chris.
Hmm.
If nobody paid you to do this podcast, would you still do it?
Yes.
Yes, that's your passion. That is your passion. You were given that talent. And it's amazing that week after week, you follow your passion. And that's something so important for young people to understand, young and in middle age. Well, it might be risky sometimes. It can be full of fear, but once you do what you are given as a gift, you find that satisfaction that has no price, and that you can go the next day and the next day and do it because you enjoy what you're doing. And that's part of living a healthy and well lived life.
Well, I thank you for that, and I can obviously tell since you had me on the show before you talked about the book about your passion and how you've been a living testimony to come back literally from the dead because you said like you said
Yes,
goodbye to your
exactly.
family and
Exactly.
your to say that if God let me live, let me take care of this by writing the book and sharing the information with the rest of us. God's not finished with you. Yeah, a lot of more assignments to do, and I'm very glad and happy that we met. I hope that people go out and get the book. Please promise me a hardcover book with your autograph in it. I will
Okay.
contact you afterwards, give you my address and how much I have to pay and everything else. But this has been so much of a delight. I mean it sincerely. I in days right now in the nation of being dark and
Right.
being gloomy, someone like you has brought some very well enlightenment to a dark place sometimes. Thank you just for being you, Grace. Thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And like
Real
I said,
Yeah. Real quick,
yes,
Peace Two Finger. Before you get out of here, you are the author of the book, "The Fountain of Youth: The Power to a Healthy and Well Lived Life." More information. Where can people get your book at, Grace?
okay, so the book is going to be available tomorrow at Amazon. It's going to be on Kindle, very affordable. If you like Kindle, 333. And in soft cover, $11.11, because I'm a believer of divinity, which is this one. We are one. We are one, guys. We're one. So we need to love each other and we need to be kind for each other. Let's show compassion and love for our fellow human beings. And then the hardcover, because it's a book that you might want to have next to your night table because it has beautiful prayers and affirmations. And I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to read an affirmation that everybody should do to themselves in front of the mirror. Can you let me do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here I go. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am secure. I am worthy. I am positive. I am blessed. I am grateful. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am courageous. I'm excited about today. I am loved. Today is an incredible day. Success, prosperity, and abundance in many different forms have naturally found their way into my life today. I gratefully enjoy their manifestation throughout my day and happily share these blessings of abundance with many others. And that's an affirmation that is in the book. So it's a book to keep by the night table, to have it and uplift you because life is not easy. It has its curves, its ups and downs. But that's why we need family, we need friends, which are a treasure. And we need books like this to keep us up, keep us up. So keep it up, guys. And I hope you enjoy The Fountain of Youth, the power to a healthy and well lived life. Available on Amazon starting tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace. I appreciate it so much. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Wonderful, wonderful. Grace Aquino, she is the book author of The Fountain of Youth, The Power to a Healthy and Well-Lived Life. Absolutely. What can I say? When you have people like that on, I said before and I'll say it again, it's one of those things where you know that they're just a different person and they give off so much radiant of life and who they are, and then to see that manifest on this program, it's absolutely amazing. So nothing wrong with that. I know we ran a little bit over time, but I wanted her get her message out here, and thank you for staying on for those who did. Let's see. What's up, Cannon? Said have a great weekend, Base. You have a great weekend as well. Let's see. What's it, Barbara Jean? I eat very little beef. Oh, there you go. See, you're on a healthy lifestyle. And Barbara Jean, see you all next time. Be well, be well, stay safe. Same to you, Barbara Jean, as we close out. You know what? I'm not going to do the other stories. I'm going to close out on that positive note. I didn't get to the other stories I was going to get into, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to end on a positive note. It's again absolutely amazing. Let's see. So real quick before we skedaddle, we'll check something real quick here before you and I part company. Hold on. Get that. Let's see. Hold on. Monday Night Football, my beloved Bears play the Washington Commanders. That should be an interesting game. That'll be, of course, on Monday Night Football coming up. So, yeah, the other games as well. Yeah, check out some football. We like football. College football is tomorrow. I'm ready to check it out, but check it out if you want to. And do something that's fun. Do something, call your friends, call your family. Get together. Do something. I try to take them on advice sometimes, but I'm working on that. I'm always a work in progress. Let's try to do better. Continue to be safe. Continue to be sound. Continue to be healthy, and most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace. Long live the funk. More power to you. As always, imparting with all of you. Always keep your head up.